Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And bringing them out, the former Tar Heel, second-year pro, Sam Howell.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
And they'll send Williams in motion right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. He's going to keep this again. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Back to throw, Howell. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? But if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led out by the USC product in his 6th season now, Sam Darnold.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now a 3-time 1,000-yard rusher, Joe Mixon. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter and misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
Darnold on 1st down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. So from the 37, here's 2nd and a yard. Darnold down to throw. it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Tough to imagine any team wanting to give a player like this up in a trade, but I know they're happy to have it.
It is amazing, isn't it? But we have seen big-time guys change teams. Jimmy Graham, Brandon Marshall, and their new teams are really excited to have them because they provide big-time targets.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they sit now at 500 on the year. And, Charles, this was a team that really looked lost in that first month or so of the season, but they have had the hot hand lately, winning 3 straight.
I would agree. It's almost hard to believe that this is the same team because we followed them pretty closely throughout this season. And early on, I know I thought this is going to be a really tough year for this crew. So plenty of credit to them for turning the ship around.
Pacheco gets it again on second down.
And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. I don't know that you've got a wealth of options here now. 3rd down from your 2.
The question is, how much confidence do you actually have in various aspects of your team? In your defense, in case things go wrong. In your quarterback to take care of the football. Your offensive line to protect it. If you're feeling pretty confident about all those things, you might take a shot right here. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
39 yards on the punt, give them just 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The numbers for Mixon last week. 16 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Mixon, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
You look at this Niner defense.
They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
And the Vikings at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a first down.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. the shotgun. Here's Darnold. This one brought in by Jefferson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's Darnold. And that's going to be caught. Oh, a one-handed grab there. He's got it for the touchdown. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
The numbers on the ground for Pacheco last week.
17 carries, 62 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 2 yards, good enough for a first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Little bootleg here. Howell. This one into the hands of the rookie Luke Musgrave.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Al now to throw it. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Quentin Johnston, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting it and by him going up and getting it.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a gain of 34.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Darnold. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch,
under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
They run for it with Mixon. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They'll give it to Mixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
They go play action with Howell.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Now throwing on 1st down here. Musgrave's got it out right.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Howell.
It's complete to Williams. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. Go to the right here and finding Burks.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half.
1st down, Howell to throw.
Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Another throw for Howell. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the 1st half winds down.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Howell.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Mike Williams.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Niners will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. Darnold from the red zone now.
And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week's second half, let's do it. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates. I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Meanwhile, Darnold's throw taken in by Cooper here.
He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 down this week, as he's got a first down as well. To throw is Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's Darnold. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now it's Darnold. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To the air again, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Tucker's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Off play action. It's Howell.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. Sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Pushes past him, runs through the contact.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion.
Darnold's throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Joe Mixon His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have retaken a third-quarter lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And Howe will throw it. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
A little touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Howe throwing on 3rd down here. Throw over the middle, and it's caught by Johnston. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Howe's throw is on target to Burks.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney, his 2nd sack of the night.
It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Pass hauled in by Johnston.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
They'll go play action. Powell.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Throwing here, Howell.
This is caught by Williams.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Back to throw, Howell. A short throw to Musgrave.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5.
Howell. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and a couple.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On 3rd down, Mixon. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Big strides. Look at him go. Inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Mixon is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So now the Niners down by 10. 1:54 on the clock. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on 1st down.
Powell's throw taken in by Pascal.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. to throw. He'll drop this off to Pacheco.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Howell. And that one too wide and incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
Again, it's Mixon.
And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And Darnold wants to throw the football. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul not only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Vikings, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
Welcome to Fire Sale Gaming, powered up by firesalegames.com. So just shop our website, firesalegames.com, and get you a fire sale of a deal on some video games. We also got some books, DVDs, CDs, whatever you want. firesalegames.com.